Now, if you guys do not recognize me from my main channel, this setup may look, just may not even fire off any connections in the brain. But if it does, yes, this is my usual main setup for my other channel. But I decided, since I'm on FaceTime right now, I don't want to shut off my phone to go record my little daily video for today. So I'll just do it in my normal setup. So hey, this is our 9/28/25 video. I think I said in the last video that I'm going to stop labeling these daily by the date, but maybe that'll be cool to keep track of them, possibly. I guess I want to acknowledge it in the video because I kind of want to make the titles of the video different than just having the dates, but just know we're still going in order from the very first video in this playlist. But yeah, for today, I didn't mean to shoot it this late. It's 10:28 p.m. But I guess it's funny because, like, I think I said in the last video, I want to make sure I do them off in the morning so they could be more like affirmations for any of you, like just starting off your day, to remind you who you are and really invoke that spirit, Well, you are spirit, so really invoke the higher parts of your spirit and really just not to need anything outside of yourself. Because guys, I mean, what I've come in to realize over this 25 years and really 7 years of this journey is that it really is all inward. A lot of the work I was doing when I was meditating, I didn't even realize the seeds I was sowing for myself when I was younger, because I was meditating right in the beginning of high school, like 13, 14 years old. I started doing candle meditation, and I noticed then around, like, I psyched myself out back then. It was almost as if my senses went beyond my normal senses. So I guess exactly what I'm trying to say is, like, one time I remember candle meditating at 14, and I could perceive cars outside my house, like, going by. Mind you, I lived in a pretty, like, high up neighborhood in the hills, or in the mountain, or like in the hills, I want to say, because they're like hills. But I could perceive, like, crickets and everything as if it was in my room. And I remember getting so excited and, like, wowed by it that I ran to my mom and told her, and she was like, "Oh, that's crazy," my mom. But it's funny because she tells me now, as where she's seen that I've, like, grown, in terms of wisdom, mind, and everything, where she was like, she always kind of known though, because I was always like, she's always been like a weird kid, and I was always like odd, which is funny. I also came to find out that I have elders in my family on my Caribbean. Oh my gosh, there's so much that happened from today and yesterday that I could tell you guys. Like, the last 2 days really couldn't even, as I've been affirming, it feels like, yeah, things have been definitely revealing itself a lot more with this whole consciousness overdrive thing. So I really more than motivate you, if you're watching this, motivate you or just encourage you to do something like this and test the limits of your mind, because it can't hurt, and again, when some people think they're, because my own girlfriend says this, but sometimes the things we say to ourselves feels cringe. And, I'd like to just, like, remind you guys, remember, it wasn't cringe when you were saying the negative or talking down to yourself. So make the talking to yourself natural. Maybe the things I say seem wild or out there. Good, works for me. You got to find what works for you, because you're reprogramming your mind. Or I've seen lately in some videos from one of my favorite creators to tap into from time to time, he doesn't like the word reprogram, because reprogram what? You were naturally good. So there's just levels to this. That's why I always still stress that there are levels. Like, not everyone is going to come into this and be able to shift their whole entire consciousness overnight. Or even if, like, I guess people who aren't meant to wake up aren't really doing this, but you know what I'm saying? So do what works for you. For me, I love this consciousness overdrive thing. I have fun, and I listen to myself though. When it's time to take breaks, remember, if I'm affirming to myself that every single move I make is the right move, the right and the wrong choices, there are none. There's just experiences, because we ascend to past the duality. So every move I make is the right choice. Doesn't matter, right? So today felt like a day of rest, which it really wasn't. My love of my life, my woman, she's making a big lifestyle change in her life. I got a bit of a surprise for her, but I was helping her meal prep a ton of new recipes and things that she's doing for her health and overall just lifestyle change, as well as mental diet and everything too. So it was amazing to help her. And she shared with me how she feels just, like, emotionally, and she just feels so grateful for me. And I'm grateful to do that, because before I attracted her, I literally said, the next woman I end up with will be my wife. Like, hands down, nothing. Like, I am love. I was saying all these affirmations. I was visualizing when I was going to the park too. I was visualizing myself with this woman who was just absolutely, like, we were engrossed in each other. We connect on every level, and we literally do. And it was so simple. I just had to give the love back to myself. And you have to understand, because I know a lot of people like SPs and things like that, and I'm like, SPs, money, all of this is really the same. So currently what I'm doing, like I said in the beginning of this challenge, what I'm doing, like I did a long time ago, is to make a steady income of what I did before, which is going to pose a bit of a challenge for me, because I do have still beliefs that come from my overall family. But it's very funny to find out that the elders on my grandpa's side that are from Barbados actually happen to be wealthy. It's just very, very funny with like how this whole consciousness thing works. Anyways, that's a whole nother long story, because they apparently, I guess I got from my mom, from what I heard from my mom, is that apparently that side of the family didn't want anything to do with them, because it was like a mixed race family. But they were the indigenous side of not wanting to mix with white, because I'm a mutt. But yeah, it's funny. So I just thought it was fun to share all this, because honestly, my mind has been pretty good. Today I took a break. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I don't really have to flip things every day, because my daily conversations with myself aren't as they used to be. Like a long time ago, they were much more like overthinking, worrying every little aspect. I overthunk so much that I had foresight, but then I actually ended up spiritually awakening and actually did have foresight, which is funny. But yeah, man, so my daily conversations to myself are not necessarily as bad as they were when I was younger, which they weren't really aimed at myself, but I did still have the taken on programming from the ages 0 to 7 or whatever, when your mind is malleable, and like you can end up taking on your parents' beliefs, stresses, et cetera, and then whoever else. And I had the normal ones of my family, which I had to undo, which allowed me to manifest the amount of money I did a long time ago anyways, where I just started to say that money is in abundance, money comes to me, money is this and that. So I think the best way I'll end this 3 minutes is just segue into that, because again, even though I'm sharing my story to relate with you guys or have certain things resonate with y'all, like I've done for people, use my story so for you can look in your life at certain aspects of your life where you were doing the same things and ascend past them. So what I'll just do for the last video, for this last little portion of the video, so it's not too long and it's your little like 10-minute digest, let's do that really quickly. So example, back then when I made the $28,000 in a month, I simply said things like, well, one, I was doing meditations of counting $100 bills, which is a technique given by Elmer. But what I'm doing now, also alongside that I was doing that, is every hour I set an alarm for the day, which is still on now, which I haven't done this in a while. But every single time the hour alarm goes off, I make sure to say, I am whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. And then I do my little visualizations, or anytime I need to buy something during the day or do things, right, I pay it in my mind. Even I pay it as the identity that I'm creating. And I know that may sound a little bit confusing, but it's like, listen, if I'm the identity where every single move I make is the right move, then I wouldn't worry my choices. It doesn't mean make stupid choices, like make sensible choices, because if that identity made sensible choices, then it's like, if you're like affirming, I make $100,000 a year, right? And then a purchase comes up. You don't really have the money now for it, but you can be like, oh, you know what? I just invested this amount of money for this other thing, so I'm gonna wait on this. You almost talk as if you still have the money, not don't have it, and then don't have any emotional tie to the thing that you may want right now, and move on. So if it's like a video game or everything, don't spend your last dime unless you're someone who can manifest instantly and has gotten results. Go wild. Don't let me tell you how or not to do this. Do it if you can. But the smart way, or the safe way, I would say, is you don't spend your last dime, you pay it mentally, because the inner world is the real world anyways. So you'll have that item in no time, because time doesn't even exist. So it's just things like that. So I'll wrap up this video with saying, we are the world is us, the world is reflecting us. You are whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. You are a beast. You watching this video, you have no reason to feel lesser than or lower than your peers. We are all the same. We are all one with God. We are sons and daughters of gods. Whatever you want to say, we are one. We are one. You are me. I am you. You are capable of everything that I was once thinking, how am I going to get through this? I have been through some of the craziest stories, and I will be telling you guys maybe in a members, maybe in one-on-one when I put a little paywall between it, because honestly it is some value that definitely deserves some means to get it. I definitely do, but I may end up sharing this story for free too, because I like connecting with people. But my more intimate things I've gone through in my life, I definitely want to put that behind a little bit of like some shit to tell y'all, like, look, I've been through some stuff, and trust me, you can survive it all. You can I had an interview with Max Sigan, and I'll never forget, where he said, you throw yourself to the wind and you can ride it. You really can, because you guys got to understand, you are spirit first. You're spirit first, having a human experience. You incarnated here. So this world ain't even your real home, man. It ain't even your real home. But anyways, I just want to say once again, you are whole, you are perfect, you are strong, you are powerful, you are loving, harmonious, and happy. You are wealth, you are abundance, you are power. You are power, and you do not need anything outside of yourself. You don't need anyone to validate. You are the shit. You are the shit simply for existing. You get paid to exist. That's one of my favorite ones. I recently been saying that, and literally I got an email, and it was a low amount of money, but that doesn't exist to the infinite. It was still a crazy amount to get out of nowhere. I got like $9, right? From a lawsuit settlement that I never knew I was even involved in. It was like I was automatically put into it, but it got deposited into my PayPal. And this was after I was saying I get paid to exist. And see, people say don't stop at the breadcrumbs. Those were the little breadcrumbs. So I was like, oh, cool shit, I get paid to exist. And I treated it as it was normal, which is very important. But again, that came out of nowhere. And I got a couple little fire Danishes I love out of it, but it came out of nowhere. And that's exactly how it works. There is no logic to this. Like, study up on quantum physics, really understand this stuff. If you're more of a logical person, do what I did. Hit the books, read it, but then you realize it all becomes simple, and it still comes back to what you mainly focus on, because your emotions, thoughts, everything is a frequency. It's all electromagnetic signals. So to open yourself to more stuff, you can't be someone closed off, being like, oh, my life sucks, oh, this, that. It won't work. It will literally close you off to the divine. Because one, do you think a God is really thinking like that? God is no respecters of a person. You think a God is thinking low? No. A God is above this world, that doesn't need anything from this world, can't get even tempted by it. So you have to be unmovable like that, definitely, for the things that you perceive bigger that you want to manifest. Anyways, much love. I'm out of here. Remember, you're the whole world. Remember, I'm powerful. I'm loving, I'm harmonious, I'm wealth, I'm all of these things, and you are too. Love y'all. I'm out. Peace.